Hi there, this is Dawn. Welcome to my art room and welcome to my YouTube channel. Over the last week and a bit, I've been working on my gosling quilt that I started, 12 months ago, and I just do a bit every now and then, but because I was finished doing all my other projects, I just decided to put a bit of concerted effort into getting on with it. So I've done more than half, so that's good. Oh, the piecing. I don't know how I'm going to quilt it and do all that, but that's just for another day. In part one, what I did was I talked about making a hexagon, and I used, so I haven't done anything more with it because you're watching this more 2 seconds after I, finished the last one. Just wanted to keep going. Next week's busy, so I thought I'll get some videoing done in advance. So what I did was I had an old embroidery piece of fabric that, I don't know, I'll find it for you. So it was something that you could make maybe a dressing table piece out of, something. An old piece of linen that was only printed, had never been stitched, and I decided to do my own stitching because throughout this quilt I've been using doilies, embroidered doilies, and I've struggled to find enough doilies to support that. I've done some of my own embroidery. This is a piece here that I've done of my own, but then I've used an embroidered doily here, like pieces of it. There's one of those little applique ones, a beautiful one. Just decided that making my own, embroidering my own piece, it's still one that was, it's a vintage one that was printed, had never been stitched. I just used the colours that are already incorporated in the quilt. But what I wanted to show you in this video is not so much embroidery, but how to create your own templates to make a hexagon. So this is one. I'm not going to, I'm going to show you these and then I'll come straight back and show you how to do it. So this is some triangles. So what I did was I fussy cut with that rose emblem in the middle, and by doing that I get a hexagon. Okay, once they're all sewn together it'll come up looking a bit like that one there. Okay, the other one is this one here, which is 3 pieces, 3 triangles to create a hexagon. Just need good math skills, apparently. Oh, throwing that one on the floor. Here it is here, those 3 together there to create that hexagon shape. This one, so this is a small hexagon already with a center motif, and then creating some fussy cut pieces. So that's what I'm going to show you in this video. I'm going to talk about fussy cutting. So what I wanted were all of those flowers. So I didn't just put the template on anywhere. I actually looked at getting all the flowers. And so then I've got another little flower garden going around there. Another hexagon. Yep, it's all very clever. Who knew we needed all of our old math skills? And this one, of course, is the star one, which is the most complicated. Still just a hexagon. So what I did was I used an old tablecloth. All right, So there's a pointy bit and a round bit. The pointy bits match up and the round bits match up. All right. What's going on here? Why have we... Oh. Yep. Because they're not sewn, I just need to remember to take up the seam allowance. All right, so we've got a star. Just used an old tablecloth, cut out all the bits. The next bit is this, which actually makes the hexagon. Fussy cut a little flower in each of these. So there's the hexagon. Here, 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 here. But fussy cut them. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Am I? Oh, excuse me. This will actually continue on and be have a star attached to it, but I'm just telling you what I'm doing here. All right, but it's the hexagon that we're looking at, okay? So all of those three emblems, did I do? Yep. So I did the three pieces, the 6 pieces, alternating pieces, the orange, that one with that, and the hexagon middle and the outer pieces, and then this one, not with the star attached, but that creating another hexagon, a star in the middle, those little pieces around the outside, still creating that hexagon, just using one hexagon shape. All of these 3 will come out of one hexagon, okay? So if you'd like to know how to do that, what I've done is I'm going to be creating templates that have a hollow, so that what you can do is place them down to create that fussy cut, okay? So that I can put it on the fabric and go, yeah, that's the bit that I want to see when it's done. Okie doke. Like to stick around. We'll be back in 2 secs. Okie doke. Bye. Okay, so what I'm going to do is make a few different templates so that you can make some decisions yourself on the pattern of hexagons that you might like to have. One of the places that you might like to go looking is on Pinterest. I found heaps. You'll see here, this site here is one of the shapes that I'm using in my quilt. This is another one that I'm using. This is another one similar. No, it's this one, this greeny orange one here. So yeah, it's not, you know, they're traditional designs that you can have a look for, work out how you want it to look. Yeah, you can use your scraps for it. You can do lots of things with them. So yeah, have a look on Pinterest if you're wondering about what to do. This is one that I really like. I think I might have to do that one. This one is with English paper piecing. So I thought in the next video we'll have a go at that. For now, I'm doing putting it together with a seam allowance and not folded over with it as an English paper pieced design, but really like that. I thought it would make a really nice drink coaster for my cup of coffee. over here on the desk, as long as I don't drip it. Or somebody else doesn't drip it for me. Cool. Alrighty, I'll keep working on this. Just wanted to say there's lots of places that you can get ideas from. There are free patterns through Pinterest. Yeah. Okie doke. I'm going to do, I've decided that I'm going to do a 2-inch hexagon, and then I'm going to go from there and work out what I really want to do. Okie doke. So just to start with, I need to just have that straight line that I can then start using the protractor with. I think I might have kept calling it a compass in the last video. Protractor. All right, I just need to find the center point, which is 2 inches there. Again, I wonder if you can see that line. Oh yes, you can. Good. Cool. The protractor, 60 degrees. That one's 120. These ones are already done. Come around, do the same. So it's that center point. Yep. The middle line, 60 degrees and 120, which is in here. Okie doke. I found my inch ruler, but I'm going to use this clear one just so we can see what we're doing. All right, so I'm going to come through from that 60 degree mark to that mark there, straight through the center. I'm not going to worry about the length of it right at this second. I'm just going to do whatever I can fit on here. And then the other one, harder for you to see. What I might do, maybe I should do it. Oh no, you can see. Keep thinking you can't see. Well, I think you can. Cool. All right. So that's the base. And as you can see, here already is a design, which is kind of what I was thinking about, you know, what I was talking about. So I'm going to come up 2 inches here. This is going to be the size of my hexagon. 2 inches. And then that should measure 2 inches there. Okay. I did it a bit roundabout in the last video. But this is not technically what you need to do. I don't know whether I'm going to break the lid off that net. Oh yes, good, you can see. Cool. I wasn't sure whether you could. I don't know whether, I don't want to get my head in the way. Oh yes, I'm going to lose the tip of this pencil in a minute. Two. And so the first design that's ready made is this one, which is the triangles. And what I thought I would do, and just go from there to there. All right, its point to point is going to be double, okay? So it's the 4 inch mark. It's not straight to straight. The straight line to the straight line is not how you measure it. It's point to point. and then it's from that straight line there is your 2 inch. So this is a 2 inch hexagon. It has no seam allowance on it, and neither do any of those. This is just a base shape. Okie doke. You could cut it out with a craft knife if you wanted to be precise about it. But what I'm going to show you is cutting it out with making it with the centre cut out so that you can do fussy cutting. That's what I'm trying to say to you. That was a bit tricky. All right, so what we want to do first up is we'll trace it again. We've done the hard work. Oh. I put this template plastic on here. You might want to make a more permanent template. You can purchase them, but if you just can't find one the size that you want, then this would be the way of doing it. All right, I'm going to add a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I'm just going to mark where I can see a 1/4 inch here, 1/4 inch. So I'm going from this mark in a 1/4 inch. Quarter inch. I used to have a 1/4 inch ruler. Actually, before I started doing this video, I went on the hunt for it. Oh, it's going to be hiding somewhere safe. It's just like the very thin rule, very thin plastic, but yeah, acrylic thing. I don't know where it is. I haven't seen it in ages, but I know I did have one. Slightly annoying, just when you think you want it, but that's okay. This is all right to do. Join the dots again. Again, not really worrying about the actual length of it because that will sort itself out. So this is your seam point here. Just making sure you go beyond, like I didn't do that one beyond. Right, I'm going to get rid of that template plastic because I've got my cutting board underneath. Craft knife. And I'm going to use a clear one so we can see what we're doing. And it's about really, making it quite accurate. So point to point, okay. Cool. Well, that was a good start to the exercise, wasn't it? That's all right. It'll be okay. Be careful. That's all I can say. I wasn't being careful enough then. Silly me. all of your templates, you would do in exactly the same way. So do that one, where you would add on your seam allowance. Now, if you're careful about it, you've got two templates. You've got one with that seam allowance. Ooh, come on. Yep. It's just getting the point of your knife in. It's just that tricky bit where I went off the side a bit. All right, so we've got one piece that's going to work for if you want to do English paper piecing. All right, so that's your without the seam allowance. You would cut fabric and then fold it over this shape. But for this one, what we want to do, let me use the scissors because that'll just be slightly quicker. We're going to have one that's got the seam allowance. So you've got the two pieces. You can use this one to cut your fabric, and then the internal one is the paper shape. I just like making my own things. I could probably research it, buy it online, get it delivered, and know that it's accurate. But having a go myself, I like having a go myself. Oh, sorry, picking up things off the floor. Oh, there we go. Oh, she says, cool. All right. The next thing I want to show you is about doing fussy cutting. So I'm not going to cut this one, but this is what I'm using on my quilt. And by having the template that, you know, number one, I can see through, I can position it where I'd like it to go. All right, so I might like to have this red square in the middle. By using my eye, work out where I'm going to put this. So I've got a couple of other markers. So I've got a marker here, these little blue circles, and I've got a heart. So by just getting it in the right spot, I've got marks here, all of those things to help position the pattern that I'm going to cut out. Cool. All right, so if I show you what I'm going to do with a triangular one. All right, let's have another one cut out. Yep. All right, point to point, point to point. Point to point. Okay, again, another pattern piece. And this one. again. We're going to cut it. We're going to get the seam allowance on it. I'll draw just around the shape. Seam allowance. Quarter inch. So the rule is following this straight line. Quarter inch. Sorry, I'm trying not to get my head in the in the camera. So I'm kind of working a bit blind in some spots. So I got that plastic ruler out so I could see what I was doing. All right, again, we're just going to join the dots. Now, did that one go 1/4 inch? Doesn't look like it there. Yeah, the same. Didn't do enough. Okay. I knew I was going to lose that lead. Find another pencil. This one will do. All right, let's see if we can make a better job of this one. And this is the sort of idea that I'm using to do a lot of my my cutting out of the fabrics for this quilt that I'm doing, so that I can see where on the fabric pattern where I want what I want to show. A little bit, you use a bit more paper, you use a bit more fabric. I'm going to cut the whole thing out this time. You use a bit more fabric because you're being particular about where you want the pattern to be. All right, so on this one, I'll show you in a minute what I've cut out, but it's here. It's on this side. Whew. All right. Flick it up in your face. Sorry. All right, cool. It's not the same size, but here. So I'm going by the bottom of the red, and I'm having a heart, and they all join up there where that little heart is. So if I show you what it looks like in real life, this is the bigger one, that's all. So when they join up, they join like that. Okay, so they're close. They'll actually have just the plain gingham in the middle, but you can see how I positioned the template on the fabric to be in line with that, so that every single one is cut out the same. Like I said, you use a bit more fabric doing it that way, simply because they don't all line up. All right, so if I do, I've got it on the back because I'm putting my stitching lines on it. And here, they've rounded the corners, so it just makes for a neater stitch. You can do the same thing. So now this one is going to go here. So you can see this, there's a space in here that I'm going to be cutting away, because that's how, otherwise I'll do one here but I'll do one here so they'll fit in between each other like this. Alright, and the next one will go down here. Hopefully you can see that's dark enough for you to see. You can cut it out with a rotary cutter or a pair of scissors. I don't think it really matters. I mean, we're only cutting the outside, we're not cutting the inside. Like I was doing with the template. Alright, can you see there? You can see the black outline, how I'm cutting them out. Cool. Alrighty, so let's have another think about it. So here's another shape. I just want to show you that we can do 3 of. Whoop. I'll use this one as an example. Here. That bit of ruler has got a rough bit there. Where's that plastic one? That's what I want. Alright. So we've got 3 shapes like that. Do we need to see it again? Scissors, scissors. Who stole the scissors? Here, in front of my eyes. So without even really trying, don't even need to look up Pinterest, you'll see the shapes begin to appear. All right, there's 3. 1, 2, 3. So they can go like that. All right, I trace around with this, you'll see it. All right. 1. Nothing more, complicated than that. Just using the shapes within. Probably just how I cut that one out. Just didn't quite, wasn't tight with my corner. There's a 3 block one. And then a star. Let's do it on this side so we can see. So we need a few more, but that's how it's going to be. I'm just going to give myself an idea. All right. So 1, and so this is where they would join, either with a seam or with your English paper piecing. Oop. All right. Oh no, I didn't allow. I'm going to go off the edge here. Sorry, but this is it. And now to get back to your hexagon shape. Same piece again is going to fit in here, okay? And once you start drawing things out, you can see it. It's just making a decision on the size of the hexagon that you want to end up with. And as you can see, this one's quite a bit bigger than the original. So it would be thinking about what that was going to look like. Sorry, those ones just went off the edge there. I didn't come up far enough. I thought I had, but I didn't. Yeah, good. Now, so that was from, I started with a 2-inch hexagon, which was that, you know, this outside edge here. And I've ended up with, let's have a look, nearly 4.5 inches, so quite a bit more. So it's just about starting off with your basic size that you want it to be and then working it out from there. You can see that this has still got a point to point. Let me see if I could find a point to point there. There's a point to point there. So that's come out at nearly, you know, just over 8 inches. There'll be a point to point there. So you can still start off with this. I didn't really get it straight, but came close. Cool. I just wanted to show you that basically it's just using the one shape to create a whole lot of other things. I'm doing a lot of joining with the triangle, with this one, using that as my joining piece between. I think I just shot it on the floor, the other one. It's still here. I haven't cut it out. Is that the middle of it? That's probably the middle of it. Yeah, so it's about creating a triangle that's going to fit there. So this is nearly 4. Excuse me. And this will end up joining the creating a, you know, the opportunity for a joining piece. Oh, that silly ruler. Keeping on working. All right, that's just your join. There can be another join here. You can put another one here, or you can work out another way of joining it. But we'll come back. I'll keep playing with hexagons for a little while. I think they're just like very clever. There's opportunity to do a whole heap of things. That other star one I showed you, I would be using this same diamond shape. So you can see all these little hexagons within. All right. Just keep looking and you'll see another hexagon. All right. I'll be back probably. Yeah, I think I will be back. All right. Now I'm ready to join some together. I've cut the majority out that I'm going to need. But what I wanted to say to you when cutting these triangles out is to just round the corner. When you're stitching it together, it just creates a neater finish. So if you just round that corner off, so you haven't got that sharp pointy bit. So see how we've got a sharp point, and by rounding it, just round it like that. It gives you a way neater finish. All right, so I'm going back to my original ones that I'm using for the quilt. You've seen how to do it, and you've seen how to do it in the size that you'd like to do it in. I'm just using, for all of my stitching, I'm using this Gutermann. It's 100% cotton. It's a bit thicker than the normal polyester sewing machine thread, but you could use that if that's what you've got. It doesn't need like crochet cotton or anything like that. It's just yeah. I think for hand stitching something that maybe is going to have some stress on it, that you want it to be strong. Okay, so that's why I was drawing it on the wrong side, so that I've got the lines that I can do the stitching. This is going to be my point where all my points meet, where those little hearts are. I've matched it up. You can put a pin in it if you want. I don't, for something this size, I find holding it is perfectly okay. I start just one thread beyond that point of where the marking is, coming forward, and then I go back to the knot, and then come forward about 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yep. Does this cotton thread does, it sticks to itself a little bit, so it doesn't act like a polyester. All right, go back now and then come forward again. The reason I do that is that if you just keep going, it kind of acts like a gathering thread, where if you do that little lock every now and then, it'll stop that from happening. So going back, I'm going to have trouble with that focus thing again. I think it's the shiny needle that gets upset. So 1, 2, 3, and back. I'll show you how to join a couple, and then I'll stop and I'll come back and show you when I'm doing the last of them. This one is this is going to be a joining triangle between all my blocks, which creates a big star throughout the quilt. Harder to see at the minute, but I just wanted to show you how to join this, and then what it looks like when you want to press it. Just wants to be. All right, so again, getting to that point and coming back, and it's just kind of like one thread beyond the point. That will give you a fairly nice, neat join. Your points join up. And if they don't, it all depends whether you're going to put it in the quilt show as to whether or not you worry about it. And I'm not putting this in the quilt show, so I'm not worrying about it. If they don't quite match up, then so be it. But if you need to be perfect about it, now, one at a time. I know that might be annoying, but that's the way to get the neat edge. Just finger press that seam open. You can have one of these funny little things that will do it for you, but I'm not convinced that that doesn't stretch the fabric. So I know that I really want to do it. It's like a little roller. That's what it's for. I bought it, and then I didn't know whether I really wanted to use it. Okay, so we're going to have another gingham one. With that open like that, you can see that rounded edge there and that rounded edge there. Match them up. Okie doke. Like I said, you can pin it, or you can put, a little quilt clip in if you really want to. I'll put it down here so that that stays in place there if I'm going to use one at all, but I don't find something this size I really need it. But you might like to use it, or a pin. You can use a pin. All right, again, going beyond that intersection, come forward and then go back to the knot, just to sort of give it a bit of strength there. That's always going to be a pressure point. Forward again. That was probably too many. I hope this is sort of an interesting video. I'm doing it because I'm doing it. You know, I'm doing the quilt right now. I decided that before I get on to starting anything else, I want to finish this quilt off. It's been a nice time to do it. It's that Christmas New Year lull where life's a bit slower and we're not having to do too many things. I didn't have another project. I'd sort of finished all my Christmas projects and I didn't have another project started yet. So I thought, right, I'm getting back to that quilt. Haven't done that quilt in too long. It's one of those ones that I've just picked up and put down too often, and now I want it done. Cool. All right, I'm going to go one more back, go to that end. Now in here I can kind of feel what I want to do is have the needle come up right at that joint, so I can kind of feel that with my hand where that is. Yeah, there's sort of like a bump that the needle just moves over. All right, and that holds it, gets your point a bit pointier. Like I said, if that's what you want to do. Oop. Tie it off. Pretty good. Okay, keep going the same way. You know, finger press that one open, add my next one, making sure that my pattern's going the way I want it to go, matching those circular bits up. When I've got them all done, I'll come back. And this sort of quilting is slow going. It's not, you could probably do it on the sewing machine if you really wanted to. I'm really enjoying the hand stitching. It's what's the nicest part about this. Okay, I've got a little audio book that I can listen to and just sit here and relax and stitch away. I'll come back when this bit's done. Okie doke. And joining the last one is the only one that is, you know, you've got to just hold things out of the way and move things around a little bit, but they still pretty much, it's exactly the same thing. So you've got this bottom one here with that rounded edge. The top one is going to be attaching to that. So if I put that little clip in here, you'll see I've got this little gathered up bundle now of all of the triangles. Do this last one, and then I'll just show you how to press it. And so with these, when I'm doing individual, because quilt is made up of a variety of hexagon shapes. As I do them, I press them, but then I need to add back that seam line back in because I've used the heat erasable pen, and it'll just, you know, it just irons it off. Right, okay, takes 2 seconds. I mean, this isn't really taken very long at all. I don't know, I've stopped and started the video a few times, had lunch, You know, it's not very long at all to do one of these. And back for the rest of this afternoon. I'm going to plant myself. It's a warm day. We had a very hot day yesterday, and we're getting another very, very hot day tomorrow. Today is hot, but it's nowhere near the temperature that we had yesterday or what's predicted for tomorrow. So it's still just, it's more overcast today. So the humidity is a bit higher. We didn't have the humidity yesterday. It was hot searing air. You could almost taste the heat when you went outside. Your skin felt instantly dry. So you can see I've sort of got like this little bundle here now. I can feel with the needle where all those folds are, so that I can feel where the needle needs to come up. Tie it off. I have done each one individually, sewn it on individually. You get a much neater finish rather than trying to go down here now, you know, like a little more time consuming, just a little neater. Like, you know, I could have gone up here and then turned it over and gone down there. My preference is not to do that, but you can do what you want to do. All right, so here it all is. Now, just wake this iron up. So I'm gonna press all of the seams going in the same direction. All right, going round and round and round like that, and then you'll see you get this little spinning thing in the middle here. Just moving up a little. All right, wake iron. Cool. Tend to use more pressure than, you know, going like this, because you're more at risk of stretching the fabric. If you can just sort of like press it. Sorry, the iron wasn't quite awake. Give it a press from this side as well. Done. Okay. And there's a hexagon, another hexagon. Fussy cut out so that I've got all of those patterns how I wanted them. With this, what I'm doing is one of these. So I'm doing a triangular joining piece. So I'll have another one. I'm going to join where there's the print, you know, so that they're alternating. And then I'll get a triangle like that. So every little piece adds another look to the jigsaw puzzle. But we started off with a hexagon, and if you just want to make a hexagon that is not necessarily got, you know, you just want to have a plainer one. Oh, I've got another little one here. I made a little one out of those triangles, but if you had a centerpiece, you could add then these bits on the outside. We didn't talk about it, but I think you can see how to make it. It's still just using those lines. Where's my paper? Where's my paper? All right, let's do do yellow on purple so that you can see it. Okay, pencil, cool. We've got whatever size hexagon you want to have for the centre. You know, you could use a doily piece in the middle. I did one. It's here. You know, I cut a doily out with a hexagon and then added these bits around it. I'll show you what the actual pattern looks like. All right. I knew that was going to eventually happen. Let's try this one. Hopefully you can see those lines. Oh, yep. It's just a bit of a fine pencil, that's all. Right. What we want to do is make this bigger here. So remember, the point to point is the measurement. So let's add another inch on here. And then this will be the template for that outer edge of the hexagon. I'm just putting this inch line here, marking an inch, because remember what I did was I just sort of like extended the lines beyond the shape. All right. Yep, there's two lines there. I didn't quite keep it on. That's all right. Very close. Just using the little markers that I created for myself. And then you would cut them out and then add your seam allowance again, all right? So we've got the internal hexagon and the external hexagon. So this is going to be our finish line. We would need to add seam allowance, but in order to get those shapes, it's about, you know, that point to point. Yep. Just checking that you can see. All right. Harder for me to see, I think. All right. And so now you've got this shape to cut out. You're going to add seam allowance this side, this side, this side, and this side to stitch it all together to create one of these. Looks like that. All right, so they're stitched here and here to create that border. Okay. and I fussy cut those out with the flowers. I think I showed you that in the last video. Here's one I did with the stars. I fussy cut these out from an embroidered doily, then fussy cut these pieces out that had a little bit of a flower on them. And so that's the star, the hexagon star. Cool. All right, well, I think actually that's probably as much as I'm going to do. I will leave you with it here. I might catch you up in another one, but I won't do any more from this quilt. But what I might do is do some English paper piecing next, because I've shown you how to do this. So I'll do my own design with English paper piecing and do it in a with some wadding so that it creates like a little mug rug or something. Cool. All right, like I said, you know, it was Christine's videos of doing hexagons that got me sort of thinking about sharing with you what I was doing too. Okie doke. Talk to you again very soon. Bye for now.